Hey, 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 happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to FPP, a time we connect faith, purpose, and profit every Monday, 7 p.m. EST. Trying to get my stuff open here over here so I can see your comments. Come on in, come on in. So, beyond excited to hold this space with you every Monday. And, a couple years ago, God put this in my spirit that so many people do all three separate, and what God intends for each of us is to live a life of faith, purpose, and profit. And so it's my goal every Monday to give you nuggets, about 30 minutes or less, to help you do just that as you start or grow your businesses. But by the way, faith, purpose, profit is also in your career. So, with that said, I started a series last week. And really, it's a series that I did in 2020 when COVID happened. It's the Brilliance School. And so I thought, you know what? I was reading your comments and thoughts after we finished the Bankroll Your Brand Summit. And I thought, you know what? I've got to give them more insight. And so that's the exact reason I said yes to do the Brilliant School. So, by the way, if you missed the first week was Dominate in Your Lane. I want to encourage you to go and watch it over on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is nrjnetwork.com. And as I'm sharing, if any of what I share with you gives you value, please do let me know. So, this is week 2 of the Brilliant School Takeover. Tonight, we're talking about the must to make your business stand out. I wonder if you realize that God never intended for you to be a second rate version of somebody else. He did not use a cookie cutter when He made you. What's interesting, and many of you guys hear me talk about DNA, distinct natural ability. Years ago, when I first thought of that whole DNA meaning distinct natural ability, I looked up DNA so I could talk with some sense about DNA because I'm not a scientist. But here's what I found out. Each of us have, I think it's either 2.4, I think it's 2.4 billion cells in us, and the two of us have the same molecular makeup. It's either 2.4 or 4.2 because I'm dyslexic and I mix up the numbers. Either way, it's a lot, right? Isn't that amazing that each of us has our own molecular makeup? That means there's something true to who you be that's needed in this world. God knew when you were going to be born, He knew how He was going to use you in this world. My question to you is, are you doing that work? So as we move into this second week of the Brilliant School Takeover, and we talk about the must to make you stand out. Listen, people can't find you if you don't stand out. If you're standing in the crowd like everybody else, no one will find you. So the must is your story. So your story is what separates you from everybody else. And so, because I have so much content, by the way, this week, I'm going to pull up slides. So, here's our foundational Bible verse for this week. It's 2 Corinthians 3:3, and this is the message version, which is much more detailed. Does it sound like we're patting ourselves on the back, insisting on our credentials, asserting our authority? Well, we're not. Neither do we need letters of endorsement, either to you or from you. You yourselves are all the endorsement we need. Your very lives are a letter that anyone can read by just looking at you. Christ Himself wrote it, not with ink, but with God's living spirit, not chiseled into stone, but carved into human lives, and we publish it. Now, when you read that, what do you think? All of us have different life experiences, so we will see, all of us will see different things as we look at this Bible verse. The thing that I love here is, does it sound like we're patting ourselves on the back? Now, when I start talking to people now, by the way, you need more than marketing. Marketing is never going to be enough. You have to be willing to show people who you are. I'm going to give you 3 steps in a second. But oftentimes, when I talk to successful women about starting a business and we start talking about all the ways that they need to allow themselves to be seen, they first say things to me like, that sounds like bragging. That was me, by the way. If that's you. And I remember, my mother used to always say, don't put your business in the street and all kind of stuff that made me feel like I shouldn't be telling all of the yummy things people need to know to see themselves. So you're not patting yourself on the back. You're showing people what's possible, number one. Okay. Neither do we need letters of endorsement either to you or from you. You don't need an endorsement from me and anybody else. God endorsed you at birth with your gift. That's what we talked about dominating your lane last week. Again, if you missed it, go back and watch it. Your very lives are a letter that anyone can read. That's good, right? So I need you to understand that we are, listen, if you think of it like this, the Bible is a book of stories of people that lived centuries ago. So we are the current day Bible happening right now. Again, it says your very lives are a letter that anyone can read just by looking at you. So let me break this down for you because definitely the power of your story is what will make you stand out. That you got to share your truth to get traffic, get leads, get sales. And so that really is a differentiator. One of the things that I love teaching my clients is how to share your story, not read your bio, not read your resume. Nobody cares about that. Okay. Because ultimately, it's all about this. I always say this is our North Star. God wants you to let your light shine. That's the whole point of Him giving you the brilliance He gave you in the first place. He gave you a gift so that it could shine among men. See, when you are being all of you and you're shining so bright, people will see you as their answer. How do you shine? Your story, who you be. Okay. So, my question to you is how does your life read? How does your life read? If you were a current story in the Bible, how does your life read? So before I start to walk you through the 3 steps to really look at the power of your story, and by the way, I see more of you are resonating. So as my grandmother would say, don't walk in this house and not speak. At least say, hey, girl, hey. If I say anything that's good to you, let me know. Hey, Kay from Atlanta, Chris from Atlanta, if I say anything that resonates with you, let me know. If I step on your toes, let me know that too. If you have questions, because I'm here for you and I always want to know what's resonating with you, what you have questions about. Even if you're watching the replay, please, by all means, I'm here for you. And by the way, when I read your comments, you may very well tell me what to talk about next, what to teach on next. Hey, my Regina. Hey, girl. All right. Hey, Tabitha in Memphis in the house. I love it. Hey, Natasha, tell us where you are. And Tabitha, is this your first time here? I don't think I remember seeing your name before. All right. So listen, how does your life read? So to answer that question, I want to give you homework. So I'm going to give you 4 questions to answer later. These are not the 4 steps I'm going to give you, but I really want you to think about this. So there are 4 core questions that you should really be asking about your business. Okay, you ready? Number 1, what are you saying? Hey, Milton, Massachusetts in the house. I just moved from Massachusetts a couple years ago. So what are you saying? When you do what you do, what are you saying? Who are you saying it to? Remember, you're not everybody's answer. You are somebody's answer. And the more specific you can get, that's why we talked about niche. If you missed last week, I want you to go back and listen to it, y'all. Hey, Nicole in the Caribbean. I like your name, girl. Hey. By the way, when you guys see me looking over here, it means I'm looking at the comments, okay? Why should they care? Nobody, listen, I'm going to answer that in a second. I'm about to go into that. And how are they responding to you? These are 4 things you've got to look at in your business. What are you saying? Who are you saying it to? Why should they care? And how are they responding to you? Okay. So, in order to answer these 4 questions, here's what you've got to know, these 3 steps. I'm going to walk you through here, which really are the 3 steps to share your truth, to stand in the power of your story in your business. You ready? Y'all got a pen? So I'm like, why would you ever come to a live with me and not have a pen? I'm just saying. All right. So, step number 1 is WIIFM. It's almost like a radio station. What the heck does that mean? It means what's in it for me? This is the one question every client is asking, right? Remember, I said, what are you saying and who are you saying it to? Because clients are asking themselves, or people that are watching you are saying, what's in it for me? Many of you, whether you're watching me live or you come back and watch a replay, the reason you come back week after week is because you see that this is valuable for you and your brilliance, whether you're starting or growing your business. Every person is asking that. And dare I say, it's not about you. See, people don't want to be sold to. So if you think, oh, I'm going to build a website and people are going to buy it, yeah, that's a lie. See, people want to be served. I always like to use the example when I go to the doctor, I'm going to the doctor because I don't feel good. If the doctor handed me my prescription as soon as I walked in the doctor's office without giving me any kind of thorough examination, I'd be like, ugh, this doctor's crazy. I would not take that to get filled. I would not take that prescription to get filled. But instead, what that doctor does is it gets to know who you are and what you're feeling and what's coming up for you. This is why the conversation from last week is so important. Again, if you didn't see it, let me put this banner up again so you can go back and watch the replay. NRJnetwork.com is my Facebook, my YouTube channel. You can find the Facebook, the FPP Live is a first column there on my YouTube channel. And you'll see last week should be first. in that area, nrjnetwork.com. Okay. So the doctor's gone to medical school for like 13 years, y'all, and they still give you a thorough examination. And yet you think you know better than your client does. No, your client is an expert. They know how they want to be served, which comes back to what's in it for me. So you've got to be able to speak their language the way they need it, the way they'll hear it. I remember I was working with teenagers, and listen, I was working. I had a faith-based program for teenagers, and I would listen to rap music. Right, I still listen to rap music, but I really got into it with them. Why? Because I needed to be able to meet them where they were, not where I wanted them to be, not where I thought they should be. So when they were trying to have secret conversations, I would say stuff like, "No, this is in the '90s, y'all. Oh, that's E40, right?" And they would go, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about." And see, I could serve them in a different way because I could speak their language, and I met them exactly where they were. How are you doing the same thing? So then when you do that, the second step is you've got to show them what's possible, not tell them, but show them. The thing that we all love about Oprah, whether you realize it or not, is that she is transparent. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we have. If you think about Oprah's show, the reason her show did so well is that she let us into her journey. So she led us into her weight loss journey. We know that she's been raped. We know the relationship she has with her parents. I mean, she was transparent through it all. The problem I see with so many successful women is you get in business and you think you have to like have every answer. Listen, I'll tell you the things I don't know, and I'll tell you the things I do know really, really well. I'll tell you that I can't add in my head. So if we're talking numbers, I'm gonna say either round it up to a tenth, right? A principle of 10 or divisible of 10 so I can add it, or I'm gonna have to get a calculator. That does not dissipate my brilliance. Or there's times that I have failed in my business miserably. Those of you that have heard me every time I story, you've heard me tell that. Why do I do that? Because people will see themselves in your journey. People will see, listen, one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And see, it's in you telling your story, it's in your vulnerability. Oftentimes sometimes I'm on this Facebook Live, actually, what just popped in my head, I remember once I was on a Facebook Live and I was doing a series. This is before I did my weekly series, before I started doing weekly series. And I had gotten on and we were having technical issues. And listen, I hadn't combed my hair, y'all. Okay. So my hair was all over my head. And I'm teaching I stop. I go, look at my hair. And ain't none of y'all said nothing to me about my hair, right? And somebody said, oh, Nicole, you're funny. No, that was real. But see, my ability to be real is one of the things that I have no problem doing. You know, and if I'm really, really honest, my social media team, because now I have a team that helps me with my social media because I'm getting busy and I can't do it on my own. They're like, Nicole, you're funny. We need to do some funny stuff. And I'm like, how do I record something funny when I'm organically funny? Like, I don't make up the stuff I tell you guys, right? I'm not making up my jokes. They come as I'm talking. I'm like, well, unless you take a recording from something I've done, I don't know how to record my funny when it's organically funny. Again, I'm being authentically who I am. You don't have to be a second rate version of someone else. You don't have to fake who you are. You don't have to hide anything. You have nothing to hide, nothing to protect, nothing to defend. You've got to be comfortable with your journey. And it's that comfort and your ability to allow yourself to be seen, all of you, the brilliant and the breakdown pieces of you, that will make you stand out. Right? Look it down, make sure I didn't forget to tell you anything. And then the third step here is when you understand what's in it for me and you meet your clients where they are and you show them what's possible, they will see you as the answer. When people are looking to hire somebody, they're looking for someone to be the answer for a need, a desire, a want. That's all they're looking for. So if I walked up to you and said, well, I can help you, you don't know anything about me, right? But this is what people do all the time as they start a business and they think, I'm going to post a website. And people haven't experienced you. They can't see your truth. They don't know who you are. I call this, and this is on another slide that I'm going to show you again later. I call this dating. And I call it that because years ago, when I was thinking about this when I was dating my husband. Had my husband brought my ring on our first date, I would have thought the brother was crazy. But that's what many of us do. We build a website or a sales page. We think, yes, people are going to buy it. No, they're not. They're not because you haven't shown them what's possible. You haven't shown them what's in it for them. It's not about you. How do people see you as their answer? And this is why I see so many entrepreneurs have what I call Milli Vanilli syndrome because they're doing what everybody else is doing and they don't stop long enough to get clear on their own DNA, their own lane, and begin to speak from it. You have nothing to hide. The good parts of you and the bad parts, the stuff when you're clueless and the stuff when you are phenomenal. You can talk about both. You can talk about the time that you got fired. Oh, I can tell you all kind of times that I've gotten fired. Because I was doing stuff I had no business doing. No problem telling you that. That does not make me any less brilliant. And this is one of the reasons, you all, that I'm inviting you every week. I'm going to invite you to join me for my 2-day intensive that's coming up almost about a month from now, September 29th and 30th in DC, bybintensive.com. So listen, this is the agenda. So I talked to you about mastery of you last week, which is what we talk about the whole first part of the first day. This is the agenda, by the way, day 1, day 2. You see that? It's 2 days. So that's all dominating your lane. Just even deeper, why I give you strategy. Right now, I'm just telling you what it is. I'm not giving you strategy. So if you think this is good, you ain't seen nothing yet. The second part of day 1 is optimization. It's about you understanding how to tell your story. So I'm going to show you how to tell your story, and then I'm going to show you how to do it in the digital landscape. Because it's not just about posting in social media and doing whatever, whenever, however. It's about having strategy that does what? What's in it for me, shows what's possible, and allows people to see you as their answer. But how do you do that? We're going to walk through that in the afternoon on day 1. The thing that people don't realize is this, right? I just talked about this, so I'm not going to talk about this again. But what many people don't tell you is when you're marketing in your business, or I call it visibility, when you're growing visibility, only 2 to 3% will convert to a buy. Mhm. So if I have a coaching or consulting or some kind of program and I want 20 people in it, how many people does that mean I need to get in front of? If 2 to 3% will convert. This is stuff people don't tell you, y'all. And then you start a business and you're like, it's not working. It's not working because you're not getting in front you're not getting in front of enough people. Let me get this word out. You need to get in front of 1,000 people. And those 1,000 people can't be in your Facebook group. They've got to be in your opt-in list. Why? Because when people go the next layer, so say you have a Facebook page and then you have a Facebook group and then you have opt-in list, when they've opted in, they're saying, you have what I need. Those are the people that will convert. Mm-hmm. Right? Natasha, you put 300 question mark. Tell me what you mean. Right? So are you saying you only have 300 people in your mailing list? I'm gonna tell you guys. These are the things people don't tell you. 2 to 3% will buy. And if you want, let's say you want 20 people in your mailing in your program every quarter, even if it's every month, that means you've got to get 1,000 new people, but it's the right people the right way. You can have your mom, your aunt, your cousin, and all of them on your list. Those people don't count. Don't count. Again, this is why we talk about optimization. We're gonna walk through this at the Bankroll Your Brains Intensive. So one thing you've got to know is your niche, your lane, which is why many of you, I'm going to suggest you come VIP, Brains Accelerator. Now listen, I got a couple of VIP seats left for $300 off. Send me an inbox message. I will definitely. No, I thought that you had to get in front of 300 people for 2 to 3. Yeah, it's 1,000. Isn't that crazy? It's stuff people don't tell you. So by the way, last week, I offered an audit of your social media profile. I forgot to put a slide on here. I'm still leaving it up because only one of y'all out of I said the first 10 of you, and only one person sent me a message. So I'm gonna give you one more week. If you want me to audit either your LinkedIn, your Facebook, or your Instagram, send a link in an inbox message so I can audit it for you. Okay. So that'll be part of our live probably next week if I don't get to do it in between. I was out of town and all over the place last week, so I didn't get to do it yet. So I figured I'd give people another chance. And the reason I'm doing that is because your social media is a part of your marketing. If you don't know your niche, your lane, your marketing is not going to work. This is why many of you need the VIP Accelerator. Can I tell you that my Brilliance Accelerator by itself is 1,400? Yeah, you're not paying that. Okay. Because you've got to understand your purpose, what lane it's in, and then speak from that as you grow your visibility. The problem so many people have is you cannot see the label from inside the jar. You can't. Okay. So again, I have a few VIP seats left. Those of you that know, like you know, you're ready. See, ultimately, a confused mind doesn't buy. So if you can't articulate what's in it for me, for them to hear, what's in it for them, because it's not about you. If you can't show them the journey, and you are not able to allow them to, or you don't understand how to let people see that you're the answer. Mhm. Then you need to be not just in a seat, you need to be in a VIP seat. Those of you that know, like you know, you get $100 off until Tuesday. Now, again, I have about 3 VIP seats for $300 off left. I see Chris has already sent me an inbox message. I see you, girl. I'm going to give you the code in a minute so that you can get one of those seats. And yes, you can do payment plan with VIP. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is this is the stuff that people don't tell you. These are the things that people don't tell you, and you wonder why your business isn't working or it's taking forever to take off. It's because you don't have your niche down and you don't understand the power of your story, which is the most valuable tool you can use to stand out. If you want to be the go to in your industry, your story is what's going to make you stand out. And yes, at the BYB Intensive, I'm going to teach you how to tell your story. If you've ever heard me as a speaker, I teach you guys how to tell your story. So with that said, that's week 2, y'all. Now let me go back to my slides so I can make sure you know the 3 points that I just walked you through, right? Because these 3 points are so important. We talk about you really understanding the power of your story in your business. It's what's in it for me, showing people what's possible, show, not tell, and see you as the answer. By the way, showing people what's possible is what they do in the movies. So I'm those of you that don't know, my first career, my bachelor's degree is in TV and film. I worked in the entertainment industry for almost 10 years. Casting and production. So the way that I show you how to tell your story is kind of like a movie. It's the best movies that tell the best stories that, or I should say, it's the movies that tell the best stories that you remember, that you want to watch. Well, if you're like me, I watch them over and over and over and over a series. Like I just watched The Best Man Holiday again this weekend. Why? Because the story is so good. And when your story is good, people will enroll with you because again, they see that you are their answer. So those of you that know, like you know, you're ready and it's your time and you're ready for me to coach you. Listen, it's 2 days, September 29th and 30th here in the DC area. I rented a mansion, yay, because I wanted to make it exclusive. I didn't want it to be another hotel event when we come out of COVID. So right on the water, right outside of DC. When you register, I send you the hotel information. We're working on hopefully a shuttle bus from the hotel. Because we want to give you a phenomenal experience, a chef cooking for you. But beyond any of that, you're going to have a workbook. We're going to do the work in the room. I'm coaching you those 2 days. So we're going to have a little fun, a whole lot of coaching. You're going to get a little Jesus, a little, a little ratchet, a little music, a little bit clean though. So I like to dance. So we'll do all of that in those 2 days, and you will leave with your plan to grow your business the right way. All right. So that's it. That's week 2 of the Brilliant School. Now, listen, I only have 30 seats. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong buttons, y'all. So funny. I get all excited and start pushing wrong buttons. So listen, I only have 30 seats in the Bankroll Your Brains Intensive, and seats are going. So don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait until the last minute. $100 off is only until Labor Day. And can I tell you, if you're in my email list, you got another special. You're going to get another special something tomorrow. So pay attention. That won't last long. But Chris, I see you, and it won't be $300. So for the 3 of you that want to come VIP, send me an inbox message. I got you for VIP, $300. You'll need to use this code within the next week. All right? So that's it, y'all. Now, you guys know me well enough to know. Chris says she is more awesome when you're in the room. I appreciate you, Chris. And yes, let me tell you guys. See, I'm not coming for who you already are. I'm coming for who you have not yet become. There's a layer of brilliance that you can't see. I showed you the slide a minute ago because you can't see the label inside the jar. There are pieces of your brilliance that people need and want that you are overlooking. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care if you have a PhD because, baby, that was me. And it wasn't until I hired a coach that I began to see all of the ways I was leaving transformation behind. Even I'm working with a coach right now because I'm up leveling some of the ways that I'm doing things. And the way she saw my brilliance is someone I've known for years. And she started telling me about myself. And I was like, oh my God. Because again, you can't see the label. That's me too. I can't coach myself. Every coach needs a coach. So when you're ready to invest at the level to which you want to see the return, I look forward to coaching you and serving you. And listen, you'll never hire me for the price you're coming to BYB Intensive. All right. So with that said, let me stop rambling on. That was week 2 of the Brilliance School. We got 3 more weeks to go, y'all, where we dig in further into all you need to create a revenue generating successful business. All right. So do me a favor, tell me the value you got out of today, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and again, those of you that want me to audit either LinkedIn, Instagram, or your Facebook page, send me the link in the inbox message here on Facebook, and I will audit that. All right. So until the next time, have a good rest of your day, y'all. I'll see you next week for week 3 of the Brilliance School Takeover. Bye, y'all.